Hey everyone, my name is Rosemary Thigpen, and I am going to talk to you today about using Google Sites and Google Slides to create digital portfolios for your student in your classroom. This presentation talks about both programs, and we're just going to hang out together, and I'm going to show you just some techniques and how to get these things set up. Okay, so three reasons why I would use digital portfolios in your classrooms. Digital portfolios are 21st century. It just takes it to the next level, showcasing student work and how their work grows over time. It's capturing those moments throughout the year. Students are going to be learning different digital skills that it's basically like web design and learning those Google skills that they're going to need throughout their education career, especially with Carroll County Schools. That's what we use is the Google for Education suite. And this is a great way to teach them all of those skills. And then I think that the creation process is something that is easy for students. Once you teach them that one skill that they need to put these together, it's not like you've got to continue to teach them over and over. The kids really do seem to pick up on it. And so it does seem like it goes quickly and easily in the classroom. I wouldn't be too scared to at least try it. Once you get the hang of it, they will definitely catch on. We did these digital portfolios in 5th grade this year. We presented them at the cluster night at the beginning of the year. And we had Jaquan Pine and Isabel Morales present these, and it was really well received by board members and other principals at other schools. They were very impressed at what we were doing with these, and I'm just really excited to show you guys how to incorporate these into your classrooms, any level, not just 5th grade. I will show you how the littles can use these too. So I've got a vision for Central. I think it would be really great if we could start our kids using these digital portfolios at a young age, even kindergarten, and their portfolios could grow over time through their elementary education career. Just capturing all those moments and showing just how their education has advanced and grown over the years. So a lot of you are thinking, well, I do love my student portfolios and my student-led conferences and this student-led learning concept, and I don't want to get rid of all of my paper and goal setting things, or like a paper portfolio. And I'm not telling you to necessarily ditch the paper. I just want you to think of it as maybe capturing those ideas. And, when you have a paper portfolio, things might go missing. Well, if we're capturing them and we're putting them all on an online platform, it is you'll see the benefit of it. On this slide, I've just showed you, we don't do everything digital. We record the children's goals on paper, and then the kids can capture these moments, these different paper experiences using their Chromebook cameras, and then putting them down on a digital platform so that you are seeing their growth over time. This star reading chart is going to grow. So they'll capture August, and then October, they'll see how their goals are being met by taking a picture. It's like taking that first day of 5th grade picture and seeing that last day of 5th grade picture and how the kids have grown. So that's one of the things that we do with digital portfolios is taking pictures of their work and capturing those moments of learning. So if you think that maybe you're thinking that my kids are just too young to do this, or I teach kindergarten, I teach pre-K. I have found a blogger named Christine Pinto. She wrote a book called Google Apps for Littles, but she has a website here, and I'm just going to go to this website, a blog site of hers, and she walks through what she does with her kindergartners and how she helps them set up their Google site using, how she walks them through it. So any kid can learn how to do all of these skills, even if the smallest kid. I think that Google Sites is a little bit more advanced. She's obviously using Google Sites with her young students, but I think that, I've got another way using Google Slides for the younger students that might be a little bit easier to get started off. But you're going to have access to this presentation by watching my professional learning here. You're going to get my presentation, and you will have the link to this site in it with all of my other resources to help you get started doing these digital portfolios. But I wanted you to have access to this website. So it's embedded in this presentation. All right, so like I said, I think that Google Slides is a really, it's a more simpler way to get started with Google or these digital portfolios. I made a template example for you to help you just visualize what you might want to do. So what's good about Google Slides portfolios for students is that the younger kids can do it easily. You, the teacher, can create the template and then push it out to students. So you can line it up all for them, push it to them through Google Classroom by making a copy for each student, and then they can fill it out with their work samples. So let's take a look at the example that we made for you. I have to give credit to Alexa Smith. She helped me a lot with coming up with this vision for the slides. So this is just an outline. This is something that you and your team might think about creating. It's very plain, it's very simple. I might have the kids, take a picture of themselves using the Chromebook camera and put it on here, or they could personalize their slides page. And that's going to teach them how to use all of these tools up here, adding an image, a text box, different backgrounds and things. You'll have different sections for the different subjects. So you'll have a reading and language arts section possibly. You might want to split that up into the different standards. Like I said, this is just a simple example. What we did, Andrea Brown sent me what first grade uses as a data tracking sheet for, just first grade data tracking sheets. So this would be something that I might do with if I had first graders. This would be an individual student goal sheet for their star reading. I just highlighted here just as an example, but so the student would take a picture of this using their Chromebook camera, and I will show you how to teach them to do that. And then they would add on to it over time. So they'll have one for August here, or their first 9 weeks, and then they would add on. So the second 9 weeks, they'll have the October bar shaded in, or they'll have the August bar, and then they'll have the October bar shaded in. So they'll see their growth and how it went from August to October on here. So you'll have one for each 9 weeks. You know, you're capturing a slide for each 9-week goal for reading fluency, star reading. And then you could put in some reading work samples, whether that be something that maybe they created on Google Slides. They could link it in here. They could insert an image and take a picture with their camera of maybe like their favorite book. You could take a screenshot of maybe their TOPS report and insert it into this slide. Google Slides is a great way to put in all kinds of pictures and just personalize it and make it their own. And then you would have a different section for different subjects. Here's math. We did the same thing. We took a picture of the paper. It's almost like going from paper to digital. You can make charts using the Google Suite, but it's pretty advanced, and I just think with the younger children, it would be, even for 5th graders, it would be best just to take screenshots here, capturing, you know, just the learning of the goals being met. An idea would be, like I said, to go through each 9 weeks, and then you put your work samples. You will have access to this because you watched this presentation, and by filling out my Google form at the end, letting me know how I did, I will have your email address, and I will make sure that I share this portfolio outline with you. All right. So in 5th grade, we use Google Sites, like what the Christine Pinto blogger is using with her kindergartners. So you can either use Google Sites or Google Slides. I just showed you Google Slides, and this is Google Sites. Why I would use Google Sites, it really does make it very easy. I mean, I just think that it's natural to make a website to publish your ideas on. That's what you know, if you think about being online and looking something up, you would find that idea on a published site. So the children this is web design. They're designing their own website, and it's really, Google has made it really easy with Google Sites. So I said that it talks to all of your G Suite tools. So it's easy to embed a Google Doc. It's easy to embed an image. It's easy to embed Google Slides. It's just easy to embed all of their work. These are just rock star kids. I wanted to show you some really good quality examples of what our 5th graders do. So we're going to start with Reagan. This is Reagan's published Google site. I will walk you through how to make a Google site toward the end of this presentation. Reagan this is her home page right here. She has personalized it by putting a background up here. She was able to take a picture of herself using the Chromebook camera, and then she has like just an about me on her home page. We have all of the 5th graders have the same pages, but we let them personalize their pages. The second page that we have all 5th graders do is a goals page. The goals page has 3 different types of goals. They're academic goals, and they all have the same academic goals. They talk about their AR, math, common assessment, and STAR. Reagan has personalized these pages in a Google Slides presentation, and then made these images into JPEG images. They have a behavior goal. We use punch cards to reward positive behavior in 5th grade, and then we just have a conduct code system that we wanted them to put on here. they have to upload and reflect. So you're going to see a lot of that on Reagans Portfolio, where she has put in a picture or a sample. She has titled that sample and then written what it means to her or what it is. So that's what I mean by reflecting. And then every fifth grader has a section on their goals page for personal goals. And that this makes it unique and individualized. So she's got different goals about her life, personally, that where she's given a picture, she's given a title, and she has reflected and let the viewer know a little bit more about what that goal is. Every fifth grader has a reading page connected to their digital portfolio. The reading, we didn't do a whole lot with reading and math this year. We do expect to do a little bit more with that this coming year. But with reading, we have a common assessments section where the students have taken screenshots of their common assessment scores. They have titled those screenshots, and then they reflected on how they did with the common assessment. Maybe some more ideas for the reading page would be to incorporate ELT time, maybe work samples, having a section for each standards, things like that. For the math page, see here we have the fifth graders have a goal sheet where they keep up with their STAR math scores. And then they have just taken pictures and labeled these. So here's Reagan's August versus her October, sitting side by side. She's able to reflect on that. We've got common assessment scores for math in here. Weekly math reviews, just their contract, what they're accountable for, just holding them accountable. Something else that you might, I would definitely, if I taught math, have some work samples in here. I would have linked slides, presentations, hyperdocs, different things like that. We did a lot with science and social studies on our digital portfolios this year. The very first thing that we did was at the beginning of the year is I had the kids sign a contract for my classroom. The reason why you're seeing this is because Reagan did not make the access to this Google Doc public where I could see it. So that's why you're seeing this. It's fixable. It's just something that she did not do. And then they reflected on the contract. What does the contract mean to me? What do I know about the contract? Then for each science and social studies, there is a section header. So Earth Science was our first unit. And then we had a lot of digital work samples in science and social studies. So this is just a work sample that we did on Google Docs. Here's another one of a poster. They were supposed to insert it. It's very easy to insert, and I will show you how to insert work samples from your students' Google Drives. And then I think it's just really awesome to be able to do the screenshot of the common assessments. This is an Illuminate. This is their Illuminate page showing their assessments, and then they reflect on it. So like I said, each unit that we have has a section, and then they can put in as many work samples as they want. Here's a digital work sample, but then you can also do paper work samples in here. And that is just taking the paper to the computer with the use of the camera. Let's take a look at Carter's, and then you can just see you can see the personalization with the two different sites. This is Carter's social studies page. Again, his his looks different, as in color and work samples, than Reagan's, but they're able to personalize it. So, Carter chose this font. He chose this background. I think it's important to personalize these so that the kids enjoy them, and making it their own means something. Remember, Reagan had these same goals here: behavior goals, personal goals, but his is different. So it's just making it unique. The kids have a lot of fun with this. Last year was the first year we did it. So the beginning of the year in my class is where they set up their digital portfolio. We just walked them through it. I'm going to go back to the slide and show you Addie's, and then I'll move on. And it's just when they learn how to set these up, a lot of skills, a lot of these Google skills are being learned, and it just makes online digital learning in general easier because you've already taught them all of these skills. I love Addie's background on her social studies page. Here's her home page. I think she added in one more picture of herself. I think they just had a lot of fun, getting these goals down and reflecting, and having it's almost like a home for their resources and their work samples. Addie had a writing page on hers. I think we wanted to do a section for each type of writing, and since they're typing up their writing anyway, this is just a great little place to put all those the different types of writing. So next year we will move into advancing these portfolios, and all the teachers using these in their different sections since the kids switch classes. Okay, so the first thing that if you decide that this is something that you guys want to do, in third, fourth, and fifth, it's really important that everybody be on the same page within your team. Deese, Lewis, and I, we made the decision to do this together. It wouldn't really work if just one person wanted to do them, just because of the, I guess you could do that, but then you wouldn't have all subjects covered. And this is kind of putting all the subjects together for the student. So I guess what I would decide as a team is, what style of portfolio do you want to use? Are you going to do the Google Sites, where you have to walk the kids through how to set it up? Or are you going to do Google Slides, where you can create the template and then all they have to do is put their work in? What pages are you going to need? Are you going to just do reading and math? Or are you going to cover all the subjects? And then what kind of goals will the student be tracking? And how would they track those? Are they going to take screenshots? Are they going to color in a chart on a picture and take shots of that? You'll have to kind of lay that out before you get started. So I'm going to take a little bit of time right now to show you how to make your own Google site, how to set this up. In my presentation that you will get because you watched this, I will send you my Google Slides. I will send you this, and it walks you through with different pictures and arrows, step by step, of how to do this. I right now am going to go back here, and I am going to click on this link, and it's going to take me to making a new Google site. You can also get to the new Google site or get to Google Sites by going to this. I call this the waffle. You can click on this, and then it will take you, then you just scroll down and Google Sites is right here. So that's how you would get to Google Sites. It might be beneficial for you to do this while I'm talking to you, walk you through it. You can minimize your screen here of me talking to you, and then open up a Google site and get started that way while I'm talking to you. So the first thing you would do is click on blank new site. Remember, if you choose to do Google Sites, you will have to walk your students step by step of how to set these up. Like I said at the beginning, it's once the kids catch on, making pages, it's pretty repetitive, and they'll catch on pretty quickly. My internet's being a little bit slow right now. But okay, so we've got an untitled blank Google site. So the first thing that you're going to do is just name this. I'm going to name this Rosemary Thigpen's Digital Portfolio. And then up here, you'll need to enter that site name. If I was you, I would copy and paste this here. And you need to do the same thing up here too. Well, actually, by just clicking on that, because I named this, it named it up here also. That is really important. If you don't put your name up here, you're not going to be able to find it in your drive. So definitely make sure that you name your Google site. Okay, so like Addie, and we'll go back to Addie's portfolio here. Here's her home page. She's got different pages for the different subjects. So you're going to come over here, and you're going to, right next to insert is pages. This is my home page, but you want to add, I'll move my face over here. You're going to add pages for the different subjects. So you'll prompt your students to click on the plus sign, and you're going, not a link, but a page. So they're just going to click on that, and you're going to name the page. The next page I want is goals, and you'll click done. See how it's adding it here? So I have a home page with my name and a goals page here. We're going to add a couple more. Goals will have a reading, done. Add another page, writing, done. Math, done. Add another page, science. You don't have to have this many pages. You could have just a couple of pages. You could have just one page. It doesn't have to be complicated. This is just adding different pages across the top up here, and when you click on them, it's going to take you to them. Just like a website would do. Okay, science, and then I'll add one more, social studies. Okay. The kids are going to want to make their backgrounds different colors. They're going to want to mess with the font and all that. I would set them up, set up their pages, show them what you want them to look with it, then let them play with it. Okay, so we have set up our pages. Over here is where you can select the theme. Font style, color. It's got some already done for them different layouts, I guess you could call them. They don't have to choose these. They can make it their own. And then they can choose the different colors. They can add their own backgrounds in here by changing the image. And they can find that online. I'm not going to get into how to change the images in the fonts, but all of that is located up here under theme. So you've got themes where you change the color in the fonts, pages where we added those different sections up here at the top. If they want, like I'm not happy with my social studies being right here, you can move the page, like so that home is first, page 1, page 2, page 3. You would organize those here. And then within the page, this is where you're going to embed text and images and work samples from Google Drive. So on Addie's homepage, she's got a picture of herself here, and then she's got some words, just telling a little bit about her. So the way that she did this was this layouts tool. This is a really simple way to embed all of these things up here, but it's simply done for them. All they have to do is click on it. So here's my header. I'm already here. Addie has this. So now, let me move my video camera. Now I can just add an image by clicking on the plus sign. And I'm going to add an image from my drive. And you know, if the children don't have an image of themselves, the plus sign, they can upload an image from their camera on their computer. But I think I have an image, maybe, of myself or another kid. I'll go to recent. This toggle bar right here helps them search their drive for different things. Let's see if I can find a picture. Oh, I can put this on. And then once they pick the picture that they want, they can insert it and it will show up right here. They can make it as big as they want. You can shrink it this way, you know, just mess with it however big they want it. And then I had made the children do about and their name. And then they had to type what they wanted. You might want to give them like a sentence starter to type with and to get them going with some ideas, just brainstorming. So they would type a little bit of about me, and then they move on to their different pages. The goals, you know, you can use different templates, maybe decide how many goals you want. We thought it would be really easy just to have 4 goals in 5th grade, so we used this layout template. They'll add an image of each goal and label it. AR goal, STAR goal, math, that fluency, whatever your goals may be. You know, I would decide, like each kid doesn't need a different, you could think like a generic goal. I hope to do some more PLs on this and show you the 5th grade goals slides presentation that we made. And then we showed them how to turn their slides into a JPEG. I will show you how to do that later. All right, so they've got their goals here, their academic goals. And we want people to know that these are academic goals when they go to their webpage. So they're going to add a text box. So just clicking over here under Insert, Text Box. I'm going to make a header. And we're going to say Academic Goals. And then I tell the kids, give that little bar, give that little piece some emphasis. So they can change the color of it. The color of it is going to depend on what color scheme they used over here in themes. This is not in the right spot. I want it to be up here. So do you see the little rough spots right here? Mm-hmm. That means that you can grab it and drag it. Grab it and drag it. And now my goals, academic goals, is up here. I don't like how that color clashes. So I'm just gonna, you can change the color with this color palette, put some, maybe a different color emphasis on it. I like that better. And then we're gonna make another section. So I'm gonna add another text box. And the next goal that a fifth grader had was their behavior goals. You know, your grade level's goals might be different than ours. We'll just decide on that ahead of time so that you all set these up the same. And then we had 2 behavior goals, so that's why we are going to pick this type of layout under Insert Layouts. We're going to pick the 2 here where they can add a couple of pictures, the title. So we have punch card behavior, and then they will type, you know, their little reflection about what their punch card is and why it's important. And then we had their tally mark system. And then the next section, and I'm just teaching you how to add sections and use the layout designs here. The last section would be personal goals. So I'm going to make this a title, personal goals. Personal goals, and I'm going to, like I said, make that background. They can change this to a picture. The kids will learn how to fiddle with this, and they will start adding images and crazy stuff and GIFs, and they have a lot of fun with it. Sometimes I have to put some parameters around fun, but they like to make it their own, and I like that because it just makes it a little bit more enjoyable for them. So their personal goals. Now this is one that they might, you know, Reagan had a lot of personal goals, but Carter only had 3 personal goals, which is fine. So this is where you might want to give them the option of what they want to choose, which layout they want to have. I think that Reagan used this one, but she used it 3 times. So here's 4 places to put things. Here's 6 places to put things. And then she would title each one of her personal goals and then reflect on each one and find a picture on the internet for each one. So that is a quick run through of how to add in different sections by just simply adding a text box right here, a text box, making that a title, putting a little bit of emphasis so it changes that background color, and then using the layouts to add places to add different things from your drive or images that they're going to want to put in here. It really doesn't take very long to set this up. It might have taken me a couple of 30-minute periods of time for the kids to set this up. And then once they get going, you can say, add that emphasis, add your section, and they get it. They get it. They've used the computers, they know. Okay, so you want to move on to a different page and put different sections on the different pages. They can do this in any order. But like I said, I would decide as a team what you want on those so that everybody knows what kind of work samples to be looking for throughout the year. This is something that the kids will add on to all year long. They simply just set it up, and then throughout the year, they're pushing things into their digital portfolios. So here's my science page. Remember, add a section title. In my science classroom, I have a different title for each unit that we study. That just helps me organize it in my brain, so that they put in different work samples that explains their learning and what they've learned for each unit. So in science, we have earth science, and I haven't put it in order. Remember, you're going to make the title. You're going to use the title so that the words get big. They can mess with the title here. You can make it be centered, bold, whatever. Put some emphasis behind it. Crazy about that layout. And then, start them off with two, using the two layout, or maybe three. And then, maybe they're going to put something in from their drive. This is, using the layout tool with the plus signs makes it really simple to find work samples in their drive. So what I just did there was click on the plus sign, I clicked on drive, and it pulled up all of my drive files, which it would do for them too. And I'm trying to find something that would be fitting for earth science. They can search their drive. We'll search it. Earth science. Maybe you want them, you say, I want you to put in your Google Slides presentation about that volcano that we learned about. So here's a Google Slides presentation about Earth. They just click on it and insert. And when you do that, it pops up on this one box. Earth Slides presentation. Maybe make them bold, and then they can reflect on it. I learned about the St. Helens volcano eruption. And then maybe they could explain the standard that they learned here. You might want to give them a sentence starter here for them to reflect on it. Maybe you want them to add in the screenshot of their common assessment. That would be great to hear. I will show you how to do that. So it's easy. Section, work samples. Section, we are adding another section with the title. After we do earth science, we do classification. My classification section, put a little emphasis to make background look different, and then give a place for work samples. Common assessment number 2. We'll take a screenshot of what they did, and then they will reflect. I made a 3 on my common. And then they'll say why they made a 3. I could have worked harder. I could have studied harder. And possibly wait a 4. Yada, 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 yada. They could just go into why. I think it's just important for them to reflect on what they've done and why it matters and how they got what they got. You might have a classification, classification chart. I knew how to spell classification. Goodness. Maybe they made one in Google Drive. Maybe they made one as an image, as a picture. They drew it. They would take the picture with Google Camera, the Chromebook Camera, and insert it. That's just a really quick run through of how to set up a Google Sites digital portfolio. The last thing that you need to know is how that they've got to publish it. So this is not on the internet yet. There's not a web address for this yet. Every time you make a change to a Google site, you have to publish your Google site. So you would hit publish. This is the first time I'm publishing this particular site. So this is the words that will be embedded in my website. And then I'm going to hit publish. It is publishing it. And now by clicking here, they can view their published site. The web address is up here, just like a regular site. And it's on the internet. It's there. It's ready to go. What I do in my classroom is I have several different digital portfolios that I show them how to do things throughout the year. And I just keep on adding to them as they add on to theirs, so I can teach them as we go along. Those are my different sections, and once things are uploaded onto here, then you'll start seeing images, but remember we didn't upload any images there. Here's that science page that we did. Science is the header, got all your pages up here, Earth Science. There's that Google Slides that we embedded. The viewer can flip through the Google Slides that they did. Classification. All those images would be there, just like Carter, Reagan, and Abby's Google Sites portfolios. Just so exciting. I love it. Okay, so like I said, when you get the presentation, you might not want to go back and listen to me talk. You might want to just click through your slides here, and it's going to give you an image, like a screenshot rather, of all that I've done. Just a box with an arrow of what to do first, what to do second, what to do third. My computer's just going a little bit slow right now, but here it is for you laid out of how to set up a Google Sites digital portfolio. That Google Slides digital portfolio is linked into this presentation also. Okay, so one of the last things, I'm going to miss through this, but you've got to teach your kids how to do some things on the Chromebook so that they are ready to put work into the computer and their drive digitally. So one thing that's really important to put in or to make note of is how to take a screenshot. They've got to know how to capture a full page, meaning the full screen, or capturing a partial page. Slide 22 is the 23 is the partial page. So there's some keyboard shortcuts here. If you want the kids to take a full screenshot, so maybe there is a full page image that you want them to have, maybe there's a chart in Illuminate that you want them to capture, you would use these two keys, Control and then this Switch Windows key. Control Switch Windows is the shortcut to capture a screenshot of a full page. This is only on Chromebooks. So this is a keyboard of a Chromebook. Chromebooks are different than regular laptops like what we have been given. Just make sure you understand that. Then if you want them to just capture a snippet, maybe you just want them to capture their Illuminate score and not necessarily the entire web page. You are going to use three keys here, Control, Shift, and then the Switch Windows key up here. So those three would set up a little pinpoint on your little cursor, and then they can widen it out to crop only just the image on the screen that they want, and it saves it to their drive. And they can put it on their digital portfolio easily. Something else that you need to teach your kids how to do is how to use the Chromebook camera. The Chromebook cameras work sometimes, and then sometimes they don't. We have found that if the Chromebooks are not updated, Barry will have to come in and update them. But if they are updated, their Chromebook camera works, and that is easily accessible at the very bottom of their screen, and then there's a little camera icon down there. But if it doesn't, you can always do this little trick. You can insert an image into a Google slide by going to Insert Image from Camera. They can then take that image from their Google slide. It's going to be in there, it's going to go ahead and be in their Drive. So that's how, and you'll have access to this just as a reminder of how to get a picture onto a digital portfolio. You'll also need to teach your kids how to save a Google slide as a JPEG image. That, I'm going to jump out of this presentation real quick to show you. I'm going to show you that on Reagans. I'll find Reagans. There's Reagans. Her goal, this is how we made our goals pictures for each fifth grader, the academic goals. So we gave them a Google slide. We sent them a Google slide through their Google Classroom, and then they personalized their goal slides. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. They personalized it. Reagan wanted to score distinguished on each one of her common assessments. She wanted to make sure that her extra math goals, or her Math Wars goal is in here, her AR goal is in here. Everybody's could be a little bit different, but each kid had to make an AR math common assessment and a STAR goal. So after they did that, I'm going to go back to my slides presentation here so that you can see this. After they personalized their goals, they had to download each individual slide as a JPEG image. So they it's super simple. They'll be on the slide that they want, file, download as a JPEG current slide. You don't want to make the entire presentation like a PDF or something. It's not going to fit into that cute little spot. You'll want to make it a JPEG image. So it's important to teach kids how to do that. You'll find the benefit in that. And then you'll want to teach them how to quickly find work samples in their Drive. I mean, we do a lot on the computer, on Google Slides and Google Docs, and you'll want to teach them how to find it in their Drive and then upload it into their portfolio, which I kind of showed you with the Earth Science slides. You can also, we found the benefit in searching and using recent while you're searching your Drive for the kids to find these work samples in recent and using the search tools. Drives can get crazy unorganized. So, okay, so I found a freebie online, just a little poster, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that poster. This is just something I found on the internet. A Google Slides like vocabulary of what kids need to learn in order to make their Google Slides and Google Sites presentations better. You could print this off as a poster and hang it in your room if you wanted to. It's the top 5 tools that students need to use in Google Slides. They've got to know how to insert a text box. That's just standard, I feel like. Inserting images, text box. using the shapes and lines tools, and then commenting with others. If you're doing collaborative docs and slides, being able to comment is important, and to send teachers messages is important. So this is just a cute little freebie that I found. And then last thing that I wanted to show you is the benefit in professional portfolios. I have really enjoyed these portfolios and using Google Sites. I did this for myself. I made myself a professional portfolio to use as I apply for different positions throughout my career. And I just wanted to show you my Google site. And so it's linked in here for you if you want to check it out. I think it's a really great way to showcase who you are as an educator, as a professional. Your pages might be a lot different than mine, but I have really enjoyed being able to just add on a lot of the different things that I do. So this is my personal digital portfolio. I've put all my badges in here. Here's my resume. And then I have different pages that just pertain to maybe different jobs that I am aspiring for, or just to show parents maybe what we're doing in the classroom. Maybe you want to do a classroom page. I don't particularly use this for my classroom. I think it would be great too, but I have this particular one is just for me, for my for the benefit of showcasing who I am as an educator. And I would love to sit down with you and show you just some more advanced things that I might not have talked about in this presentation. I really enjoy these, and I think that your students could benefit from them. And if you need help, I am here for you. And I would if you want me to come and sit with your grade to show you guys how to use these tools, I would be more than happy to. And I really appreciate you sitting with me through this, and just let me know how I can help. Thanks, y'all.